Stephen, a fantastic night for your team. Youth Cup winners, the first time the club have ever won this trophy. You must be absolutely delighted.
I am. It's we had a little chat at the Dakota earlier. The club were good enough to let us go and have a pre-match out with the club so we could kind of prepare, and we had a little chat, and I just said to the players that when I took the job in July, I didn't know much about them, and they didn't know much about me, and I just felt that I'd said it yesterday in when I spoke to you as well, that we've progressed as the season's gone on. I think we've got better. Tonight was an occasion that they deserved with how they've worked, how they've trained, how they've played in big games. So it was always going to be interesting to see how they would cope in the big occasion. And sometimes you get caught up in the game. I didn't think we were as good first half as what I would like us to have been, but we found ourselves in front. So credit to the players. Even when it went 2-1, we could have crumbled. When it went 3-2, we could have crumbled. So it showed a lot of character for me. But for them, this was their World Cup final. I know that's exaggerating a little bit, but this means everything to them. There's players better than them have never had a chance to win a Youth Cup, and I didn't want to let that chance pass for them tonight. So they didn't let it pass. I thought they were terrific. People coming off the bench made huge impacts. So overall, absolutely delighted.
What was the key to success, do you think, tonight? What was the difference between the sides?
Well, I spoke to you yesterday, and I think I said whoever can defend the best. Yep. I think we made less mistakes defensively than what they did. That's not to take anything away from our good goals we scored or anything from the goals they scored, but we didn't make as many errors as what they did. Our players at the top end of the pitch had more of an impact maybe, and when you get Cadden on the ball and you get Dominic Thomas on the ball and Ross McLean at times on the ball, we can hurt teams. We can cause problems, and again you're always concerned, can they do it when it really matters? And tonight they proved they can. And a lot of guys go through the game and their work's on notice, like Alan Campbell, who was terrific in front of the back four. Somebody said, Steve McManus said he does the work of two men. So credit to him, but listen, credit to them all. They deserve everything that comes their way. The challenge now for them is to get close to our first team. I think a lot of them are closer than what they think. They may be used in the coming months, but I expect a big 4 or 5 months for some of them. Can they really turn the switch and say, I want to be a first team football player at this football club? And if they do that, I think they can progress.
How pleased were you with the clinicalness of your team? You mentioned them as attacking threat. You scored 5 goals, which is great in any game, but you also scored at important times, and and amongst those goals, some really terrific goals too.
Yeah, we scored. I think the first one's a mistake from the goalkeeper. Yep. But Dylan's always on hand. You always feel Big Dylan's going to get a goal. He's been out and loaned to Airdrie, and I think he's been rewarded. I think he looks a wee bit leaner and he's a wee bit sharper. Still a lot of work to do. But then when you get goals at the right times, it's great. That Robbie coming off the bench. Robbie was really unlucky, and it was heartbreaking having to tell him, and I know he was disappointed, I know he was hurt, but when he was going on, and I said to him, take me out of the equation, you're going on to play for yourself. And he showed a fantastic attitude. He was down, he was low before the game, he showed a fantastic attitude. He influenced the game for us when he came on, and as a substitute, that's all you can ask. He showed a terrific goal, he set one up. Did he prove me wrong? Probably did. But our game plan was to transcend the game, keep the ball in midfield, and once it opened up, get people on with energy and pace, and Robbie done that. So, all in all, young Dylan Faulkner as well, he's never scored in the 20s. And I joked to him a couple of weeks ago that he was saving it for Hampden. And I think he said yes, he mumbled something, I think he said yes. Well, he was, but what a great finish, with his touch with his right foot and a little clip over the goalkeeper. So it shows what people have been telling me he's got. We just need to see more of it.
What do you think this win can do for the club? It's been a fantastic couple of months for everybody at Fir Park. First team are doing well, 20s are doing well. It just helps keep this confident air that there is about the club as we finish this season, looking towards next.
Well, it does. The players now have to believe in themselves a little bit more, be dedicated over the summer, make sure when they come back in the summer, there's 4 or 5 there who should really be pushing for the manager's first team, and they have to decide, this is what I want to do. Yes, enjoy the night, enjoy the weekend, enjoy what you have to do, but in the long term, this should just be the tip of the iceberg for these kids. There's been better players than them at our club have never won a Scottish Youth Cup. So the challenge for them is to go and replicate it again and again and again. It's a word I've used most of the season, consistency. The consistent players in the 20s have progressed into the first team. Ben, Chris Cadden, Alan Campbell on the fringes, Dom. That's no coincidence. So they have to make sure the rest of them, consistency levels have to continue. Hard work has to continue, self-belief has to continue. Dedication's the key for me. Once they dedicate themselves even more than what they've done, it's amazing where you can go.
And just finally for you personally, you've led a Motherwell team out of Hampden. We've 25 years after winning the Scottish Cup, we've won the Youth Cup. What does it mean to you? I heard the fans chanting your name on more than one occasion. What does it mean to you to lead a Motherwell team to a victory at a Hampden final?
listen, it's great, and you know, the fans singing my name. I get a little bit embarrassed by it. I know I might not show it, but you know, I would class myself as a humble guy. You know, we can advise, we can try and help as much as they can. The kids have to go and replicate it. You can talk about game plans, you can talk about tactics. They have to go and do it. I do the easy bit, they do the hard bit. So I think all the credit goes to them. I've enjoyed myself. They've been a great bunch. I get excited, I get disappointed, I'm enthusiastic. But ultimately, the aim is for these kids to progress. If I can play a small part in it, then great. I'm a proud man, I've enjoyed it, it's been wonderful. We've got one game left in the league, and then we can enjoy our summer.
Stephen, many congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.